Alright, so got an impeller in. I'm going to put this back together, put it back on the boat, kind of get it out of the way. And then I am going to start rebuilding the fuel rails and the VST. I also have parts for the fuel pump. I'm just waiting on my coil wires to come in. So we'll get everything put in, put it back together. I don't know if I'll get everything done today, but it will be put it back together. Grumpy somewhere around here, so you will see him. For those who are grumpy fans, got something in my eyeball. Little pro tip that I strongly recommend, because I was about to not do it, is this top seal that goes on the top of the plate. There's Grumpy.
Huh? Oh.
There's Grumpy. Anyways, back to the regular scheduled program. I always like to stick it to the top of the housing. I just use a little bit of grease or petroleum jelly, whatever you want. Just kind of stick it up there because it'll make it easier. When you put this on, you won't rip that gasket. I service quite a few loader units where the gasket is torn, and I believe that's what it's from. Installation. So, boat is in gear. There we go. Of course, that's spun around there. We're getting there. No. With the boat with the lower unit in gear, it's easy to get all this stuff lined up. All right, so we're gonna put the bolts back. We got the 10mm. Let's get this started. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna go get the book and the torque wrench and tighten these down. 60 inch-pounds. Torque wrench. Right. Sounds good. Dealing with business insurance. All right, so we're torqued down 60 foot-pounds with the super fancy dancy torque wrench. Now I'm gonna put her back on, and then onto rebuilding fuel rails and vapor pumps and all sorts of things. Oh, that's heavy. Alright, that's done. I'm not going to check if there's a low unit fluid in there because why?
Are you stupid or something?
Alright, so now I'm pulling the prop. We're going to be changing the lower unit fluid, adding lower unit fluid, whatever the case may be. I'm just going to drain it. Might need some trim fluid, but this is going to take a little bit, so we'll be back. Alright, so while that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild my vapor fuel separator. Wish I had taken some more pictures. This. It's plugged in. Yeah. Little dab of do ya. I think that's everything. O-ring here on the top. Grumpy just left, so party time! Party time! Grumpy's going home. I gotta go register a boat. After this, I'm not looking forward to that. So the last thing I gotta do here is I gotta put this sensor back on. What sensor is this? 30. Water sensor. Makes sense. Cool. Get a new one of those real quick. Put that on there. That's done. Just had to do some high quality Mealy Marine customer service there. Does this need to be torqued? I don't know. I doubt it. Probably torquing with a extension's not good, but yeah. A little bit over 64. Don't think that's gonna hurt anything. That is now complete. So this has been ultrasonically cleaned. We're gonna go ahead and replace everything. So what I like to do is I like to break these off, check valve, and then sometimes you can just take this little plastic piece and it'll go right in there. I never have that luck, but I did this time. There's one. Shee. Yep, 2 for 2. Wow. Wow. Just make sure you put these back together correctly. These can be, I do these all the time, and you can get a little jumbled up sometimes on these. So it's pretty self-explanatory. There's like ridges, like little pyramid tops, mountain tops, and you just gotta line those all up and put them in the right order and you will be good. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. Sometimes I just get them jumbled. All right, here we go. How many times do I have to do this? Get this freaking pump built. All right, where'd that gasket go? There it is, hiding. Obviously need a little bit more grease. Slowly work that way, work it in there. There we go. That is officially complete. All right, so now we're gonna start working on the fuel rails. I'm gonna wipe it down. This is like a wipe, stuff for tools, stop things from rusting, and it kind of cleans it as well. So I'm just gonna go through. Just want to make sure I don't have any, leftover debris or water or anything from the ultrasonic, but I'm not too concerned about that. Just doing a general wipe down. We'll wipe both of these down. So this is a 4mm. Fuel rail done. There we go. This one is almost done. Hole. Wrong hole. Right hole. All right, so 2 fuel rails knocked out. I'm gonna blow out all these lines. I have to remake one of these. I actually don't know if I need to remake it or not. But I think it'll fit. Let's go finish filling up the lower unit. Pumped up. So I'm not gonna put the prop back on because I need to get another spindle or hub. This one's kind of trashed, but there we go. All right, we'll check back tomorrow. We'll get the fuel rails and the VST put back on, and then get the air injector put back on, and we'll go ahead and test it. All right, so we got the fuel rails and the VST cleaned up. Now it's time to start putting everything back on. I want you guys to comment down below if you think the motor's gonna start in the next video or not. There's a couple things, parts that we're waiting on. We're waiting, actually only one thing, we're waiting on plug wires. That's what we're waiting on. We're gonna get everything else put back on, and comment down below, do you guys think it's gonna start next video or not? If you guess correctly and we pick you, we'll send you a free Mealy Marine t-shirt. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the VST. There's so many other things I want to be doing other than working on this motor, like putting in lithium batteries or upgrading my graphs or whatever. But a boat is just a canoe with a motor on the back of it. So if this thing don't run, I just got a really fancy canoe.
Eventually.
I think I gotta take the VST off. I think I have this plastic thing wrong side around. So gotta take that off, and I'll be back. I'm not gonna show you guys this. There's like this plastic thing in here at the bottom that the pump sits in, and it's directional. And I thought I had the direction the right way. I guess I didn't. So now I do, so that this fits in here like so. Duh. But as you guys saw when I held it up to the camera, there's like an O-ring that was broken. I found the piece when I was cleaning it, but I didn't know where it was from. So I went ahead and put that back in because we can get that put in. Not have to worry about it. It's all plugged in, ready to go. And you put a zip tie here. I'm gonna start putting the fuel rail back in. I was a little confused because there's a hose. The water cooling hose is a lot longer than the ones in some other boats I've worked on, so I was just kind of got confused. So I got the fuel rail. I'm gonna just set it on there. It's towards the end of the day. I don't have much planned for tomorrow, so we will go ahead. We'll work on all of this tomorrow, but I got that up in there. It's looking sweet. All right, so new day. We got the fuel rail somewhat put back in, but I already can tell that I forgot to put these hoses on the bottom, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do that. Maybe pull this off anyways, because I want to check my thermostats and make sure those are good. See what we got going on there, and then put those hoses in the bottom. And yeah, so we'll go from there. First thermostat. Looks pretty good. Second thermostat. Looks good. Now we're just putting in the hoses and doing the puzzle piece. It's just so counterintuitive how this goes on there. I've done enough of these where I think I kind of figured it out. All right. One fuel rail almost done. Torque it down. Put the injectors back in. So I'm gonna torque these down to 71 inch-pounds or 8 Newton meters. All right, so we got this side of the fuel rail put on. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hop on and do the other side. I'll move you guys. Be sure when you're switching back and forth with your torque wrench that you change the torque settings. Would not be good to tighten those little screws down to 30 foot-pounds. I will be running this off an auxiliary tank, obviously, because this gas is really old. There we go. My little parts bin is empty. Now what we got to do is put the fuel injector, not the fuel injector. What we got to do now is put the air compressor on. That's kind of exciting. All right, so air compressor goes up here. Boop, boop, boom. It's 4 bolts. Ah! Ooh. Ooh. It looks like a spaceship from Star Wars. A big yellow horn. Back to our regular scheduled program. I think we should have like a dropped bolt counter or something. All right, so we got that on there. Just gonna get some of this stuff hooked up. So I am missing a hose that goes from here to here. That goes there, so I need to get some hose clamps. So these hose clamps are not going to be permanent here. Just using them for testing purposes. And then I'll use like the crimp style clamps. That goes there. This one goes right here. Like factory. Air injectors in. I think we're all set up. Well, should have put that on first. Never mind. Cool. So we got that. We put the pulley thing on the top and put the belt on. Alright, so that's on. I'll just need to put the belt on. Alright, so that was a just fun project. Got the motor pretty much all put back together. There's a couple things. If you remember, we need the O-ring for the vapor separator, and I left the 2 bolts at home. I have a coil pack that I took off. That's loose. I need to take that off. See if I can pull that off enough to tighten. I think the only thing that's gonna stop me from pulling this kind of just out enough to get those tight, other than these bolts of course, is this hose that I made. So we got a lot of work done to the motor here. Let's go over everything that we've done so far. Quick recap. Pulled the fuel rails, pulled everything off the fuel rails, and we got them cleaned. The injectors have already been cleaned in the past. We replaced the air compressor. We put this back on. We put the pulley back on. We pulled the VST out and we cleaned it. We checked the pumps. We rebuilt this pump. And yeah, so we've gone through and checked everything. And now we got a couple things we got left to do. I need the 2 bolts for this thing, whatever that's called. Whatever this is called. I need that. I need the O-ring for in here. I'm gonna put that back on just so I don't forget. And plug wires. We need plug wires. Coil pack. That's what that's called. So that's what we got going on. I'm gonna pick up all my tools. So here's the old compressor. It's been rebuilt a couple times. So still compressing air. If you want to see what I'll bring you over here and show you this one. So there's the housing. Here's the piston. It's like the drive. This is what drives it. Spins the piston. And then here is your reeds. We got reeds there. This part will come out. That's where it goes. So that is a air compressor. Now, like I said, I'm waiting on some parts to check the motor. I at least want to get the coil pack bolted down and the coils on. Because what I need to do is I need to turn the motor on, and not turn the motor on, turn the ignition on, and I need to pump oil, make sure that my oil pump is not going bad. But I don't want to do that without the plugs put in. I just don't want it like freaking out or anything. So I want that to be completely done. This is your oil pump right here. So these do go out, and I think they're pretty expensive. But I think my buddy, Big Bass Boyd, told me about a place that sends you O-rings or something, and you send it off, they rebuild it. Because I don't think you can buy like a rebuild kit from Mercury. Par usual. So that's that.